There are haunted houses I've visited over the last 60 or 70 years where you do feel that there is something trapped in the stone, that whatever psychic powers and influences exist. Well, let's go on to an extremely simple one that perhaps all of our viewers and listeners are familiar with. Go back to our school days, and you have at least one or two teachers, and quite often the head teacher and the deputy head teacher, who strike terror into the children that we were all those years ago. I can remember I went to Hammond's Grammar School, and we had a headmaster there called Mr. Wellborn. Was absolutely terrifying. And if you got sent to his study, if you'd misbehaved in class and you got sent to the headmaster's study, you were your knees were literally knocking before you get there. Now, in that case, with a man like him, or with other dominating and cruel individuals, like some of the Nazi leaders would have been, there seems to be coming out of them the ability to frighten people, the ability to overawe people. And so you've got a negative, evil, psychic force coming out of a being, either a psychic being, a spiritual being, or even a certain type of human being. But the other factor is that over all those years that Patricia and I have been researching, we have gone to particular places or sites allegedly haunted or with a reputation for being an evil place, where it seems that whatever force is there has soaked into the stone, that it's in, you can go into an ancient castle or an ancient hall or an ancient country court, and you would find there, you say to each other as you're going, wow, there's an atmosphere in here. And sometimes it can be a very beautiful atmosphere. It can be a place where an artist or a poet or a very happy couple have lived and enjoyed raising their family and had a wonderful time there. And their happiness is also soaked into the stone and wood of their home, so that the fabric of a building can, I think, absorb, and so can certain individual things. You can look at an axe in the Tower of London and think that blade severed human heads, and that would have absorbed the determination of the executioner and the coldness of the executioner. And it would at the same time have absorbed the end of life terror of the man or woman who was about to be executed. So that either an object or a building, and sometimes it could apply to clothing. It might be a suit of armor, a shield, a breastplate. And so material objects, whether they be small and able to hold in your hand, or whether they be a room or an entire castle, can absorb these powerful human emotions. And as I said, in some lovely places, I know we visited some buildings that had been associated with Wordsworth up in the Lake District. And there was a feeling of affection, art, beauty, love, and all of the good things that Wordsworth wrote about. They were there. They'd somehow escaped into the building and into the desk he had once sat at when he was writing. So I could answer yes, that it can be a psychic being that is there causing the problem, or it can be that from a particularly potent psychic being, this force has got into the fabric and again, our levels of sensitivity differ. My two pals, who were, my cameraman and my sound recordist, they seemed to be, perhaps because they were artists and craftsmen in their own strength, they seemed to be more receptive, more vulnerable to what was there. Now, I've always seen myself, if you can characterize yourself, in these psychic encounters, I've always seen myself more as a Templar priest than as a warrior priest. And whereas some highly sensitive, highly intelligent people are affected by an evil force in the fabric or in an evil being, and where they feel terror, I tend to feel anger, aggression. And I think, you come and try and frighten me, mate, and I'll show you what hell looks like.